In Japan, a news helicopter gave us a close-up look at the nuclear plant crippled nearly a year ago by the devastating earthquake and tsunami. A report out today details the chaos among Japan's leaders during that crisis, and Lucy Kraft has more.
In the hours after the tsunami struck the nuclear plant, Japan's leaders were helpless and in disarray. That's the picture that emerges in a new report based on the testimony of people who witnessed it. Tetsuro Fukuyama was the prime minister's advisor. The normal lines of authority completely collapsed, he told investigators. We managed on an emergency mission basis. Huddled in an emergency bunker, Japanese officials struggled to grasp the size of the catastrophe. As we listened to our top nuclear experts, said Fukuyama, we politicians had no idea what they were talking about. Would this be another Chernobyl or 3 Mile Island? No one could give us a straight answer. After 300 interviews with officials and nuclear experts, the report pointed the finger at the plant's operator, Tokyo Electric. Yoichi Funabashi was the lead investigator.
No question that TEPCO, the Tokyo Electric Power Company, is primarily to be blamed. They were astonishingly unprepared for this complicated nuclear accident.
Unprepared, says the report, for a power failure. And without electricity, the cores of the reactors couldn't stay cool, triggering explosions and meltdowns. The report also blames the government's own regulators for failing to have an emergency plan if a magnitude 9 earthquake struck.
With only sketchy reports from the plant, the government began to fear the worst. A massive cloud of radiation would cover the entire Tokyo region and force the evacuation of 30 million people.
And they believed that we are very much close to this worst-case scenario.
In desperation, the government discussed sending in what they called a suicide squad, men over 65 years old, to assess the damaged plant. Fukuyama said he'd lead the team. Terrified doesn't begin to describe how we felt, he said. Months later, when we learned the reactors had in fact melted down, I was overwhelmed by our inability. A no-go zone around the plant remains in place. The radiation is still too high for residents to return, and cleanup of the plant is forecast to take 40 years. Lucy Kraft, CBS News, Tokyo.